Welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. So I'm going to talk to you guys about being rejected by the UFC, Rec, Havoc, Pride, ISK. Alright, so all those things that I named, I want you guys, when you get off of this video, even you on Instagram, I want you to go back to Google, because this shit came out in about 1993. So between 93 to 97 is when all these things started taking off. Shoot fighting specifically came out in the late 70s, early 80s, 90s, and it was probably further back than then. It just wasn't recorded. But if you go look into shoot fighting, you will find people like Dan Severance and stuff like that in those things, and you should probably go check them out. So in 1993, I graduated from high school. 19 years old. Ready to see the world. Saw my first UFC commercial. Now, the internet was a thing. You know, I can't tell you when it was a thing, but I can tell you by 1993, everybody knew how to use a computer or a microfiche. Yeah. I'm no different. So I'm at home and I see the commercial. So they have like a .com. I'm like, what the fuck is a .com? And I go to a library and I print out the address because they didn't have email; they had an address. And the .com, I guess that was what became emails, but they had a .com. And so I went to them. They also had Rec, Pride, and Havoc. All of these motherfuckers was lined up because you kind of like typed in professional fighting. So I got the address to all these places. I don't have a portfolio. I'm a martial artist. I think I'm a badass, but I don't tell anybody I think I'm a badass. It's just what I tell myself in the head to keep me humble. But I know I'm not so much as a badass, but I know I can fight. No, I'm prepared to get my ass kicked. No, it ain't no big deal. It's gonna happen. No, everybody gets to lose one good loss before you realize you need to get better, or that loss will teach you how to work on your shit. So, sent them a letter. Dear UFC, my name is James Edward Williams Jr. I stand 5'3", I weigh 120 pounds, and I would love to be a fighter in your facility. Now, just so that you understand this, I'm a cheap motherfucker. Alright? I typed this letter out. And each time that I typed this letter out, I had to take whatever part was on there and put another name on there, because I had all the addresses at the same time. So, dear Pride, dear Havoc, dear Rec, dear this person, dear ISK. Alright, so I'm sending all these motherfucking letters off. I'm thinking, these motherfuckers, because they were in Vegas, they were all in Vegas except for ISK. ISKA was in New York, so I figured I'd hear from them first. I heard from them last. But what I got back from Rec, Havoc, UFC, and the other one that I can't remember at the moment, Pride, I think it was Pride, I got the same fucking letters back. Get your weight up. Now, in my letter, I specifically told them that my metabolism would not let me gain weight. And I started taking Weight Gain 2000. GNC just opened. Alright? So if the GNC had a shake to put on weight, I took it. Literally, I took it. If they had a weight gain pill, I took it. You have to eat the shit with 3 square meals. You know, if you have your milkshake in the morning, you have to have a full breakfast. If you have your lunch, you have to have a full lunch. If you have your dinner, you have to have a full dinner. And only thing I did was shit. I was on the toilet more than I ate. I would eat a meal within an hour before I could go work out. I was shitting. Then I'd work out. Then I'd eat. And have that shake. And then have a shit. And I shit it for about a month before I decided, you know what? Fuck this shit. They're going to have to take me as I am. And every time I did this shit, you know, you got to wait for results. So, you know, you have like trial, you get on there, you think you're going to gain weight overnight. That's not going to happen. But, you know, my dumb ass, still 120 pounds. A month later, I was still 120 pounds because all I did was shit all the fucking time. Eat and shit. Eat and shit. I got training in me and Preparation H became really good friends. I should have became the Preparation H spokesperson. Because I was shitting. I was shitting like a motherfucker. No human my size should ever have to shit 4 or 5 times a day because of this shit that I was eating. My body rejected all of that shit. And I sent them those notes explaining that I can't gain weight. And they sent me those notes that said, get your weight up. I didn't gain 130 pounds until I was 37 years old when I joined the Army. Alright? That's it. So when I get to my 130 pounds, guess what? The year is 2010. Guess who now has 115 pounds, 120 pounds fighting in the motherfucking UFC? Now I'm mad as shit. Because now I'm 37. I hear about this while I'm at Fort Benning. You know why else I hear about this? Because we got to watch one of those small undercard fights while we were in Fort Benning. We kind of didn't really get to see it. We got to hear it. Yeah, because they were on 2 channels at Fort Benning. CNN and the other one with the news stuff. So we got to hear it. And such and such was 115 pounds. And he won. It was an undercard fight. So I don't know who the fuck it was because I don't really follow UFC after being rejected. And I was like, what the fuck? So about this time also, Kimbo was doing his thing outside while, everybody know about Kimbo. So my dumb ass, I didn't think to do it that way. I probably should have. I probably would have made it into the UFC because they would have been hearing about me, a little small guy going around beating the fuck out of people. Now my dumb ass trying to get up in there the easy way. No such thing as the easy way. So now that they have it, I got a hip replacement because I come out of the Army fucked up. My legs fucked up. My knees fucked up. But it was never my knee, it was my fucking hip. The Army doctors dropped the ball. The military hospital in Richmond, Virginia picked up the ball and saved my ass, which is why y'all can see me do these damn kicks. Now, the fucking military said, oh, it's your knee, it's your knee, it's your knee. But the more that they gave me therapy for my knee, the more they were fucking up my hip. Now, that was a fucking problem. Yes, I did just check myself in the chin. Transparent, y'all. But the funny thing about that shit, and I will wave at you in a second, whoever just came on. The funny thing about that shit is when I found out about this shit, I started getting even madder because I was like, I didn't have to come to the fucking Army. I could have went to the UFC. Because it took them damn near 20 years to get somebody in there that's 115 pounds. Now, prior to that, the only 115-pound fighters they had were women. So I was mad as shit. I don't have tits or a vagina. So I can't compete. Hell, nowadays you probably can do that shit. Because, transgenders and all that shit. Fallon Fox, by the way. They can do that. My 37-year-old ass won't doing that shit. My 37-year-old ass was fucking knee-deep in Sand Hill. Prepare to get smoked, people. Front leaning rest position. I can do push-ups in my sleep. I've done that shit. On base. It wasn't a choice. I got tired and my relief never came. And I had to do a double shift because I was on profile for my fucking leg. So, that being said, sorry, had to focus. That being said, it was more or less a slap in the face. Because, here I am thinking, I'll never get in the UFC. Because, now my leg's fucked up. And I finally got my weight back down because I had a bout of depression. I went all the way down to like 115 pounds. And then when we found out I had to have a hip replacement, I started gaining my weight back. And the doctor says, nope, can't go back up to your military weight. You can't go over 125 pounds. And now I have to go on a diet. Because I'm 127 pounds. I don't know if the 2 pounds are gonna make it or break it, you know. But I don't want to take the chances because I'm not trying to lose this hip right now. You know, so I want to try to avoid having hip replacement surgery until I'm like 60. So that way, if my career takes off, I'll be able to do my own movies, my own stunts and shit, and I won't have to worry about the other shit. Yeah, how shit works. If you're a veteran, you know how this shit works, and especially when you got to play hurry up and wait. By the way, these are commas. I'm using them as tonfas, though. I plan on buying me a set of tonfas as soon as possible. If anybody knows where I can get some, shoot me a thing down in the comments. But yeah, so that I can end this video and this live stream. The UFC has done me like no favors.